Hey guys, so I'm going to take you through something that me and my clients, or most of them, do every week, and that is something called General Physical Preparedness, or GPP for short. So as you can see here, this is an example. First movement was some goblet squats, 12 reps, press ups again for 12 reps, although you cannot see me here. So these movements are different to what we do in our actual training. So I don't train for press ups, I don't train for goblet squats, I don't train for these kettlebell swings. So they're quite starkly different to the main movements for a bodybuilder, a powerlifter. And I like to get a squat, a press, a hip hinge, an inverted, a row, sorry, this is going to be an inverted row that you'll see, a row, and then just something a bit different for the core. So here is the inverted row, and the final movement I'll move on to after this is going to be mountain climbers. And then after I finish this circuit, do a quick round on the rowing machine, or say a bike, which again are very non-specific to powerlifting or bodybuilding. They'd be specific to a rower or someone like a cyclist, but for us these are very non-specific. So this generally fits sort of concept that I'm trying to lay across. I first kind of read about in super training and have enjoyed using it ever since, kind of seeing it in there. And I also had it given to me by my coach, previous coach, Greg Farris of MyoBrain. So since kind of seeing the results and the benefits that it gave me, I wanted to implement it myself. So what does that kind of mean? It's characterized by the progressive development of motor skills through a wide variety of non-specific tasks. So as I said, goblet squats aren't specific, kettlebell swings are not specific to kind of an actual barbell, low bar, competition type squat and that sort of thing. So its role is to expose the athlete to a wide variety of physical fitness skills to enhance well-rounded and healthy development. So exercises chosen should be general in nature but specific in function, allowing such improvements even though they are different than those of the desired sport type. So this is taken from super training, and in essence you get fit to train. We're building and or maintaining a functional base for our sport. So, I mean, if you look back to kind of how the Russians used to do it, they do sort of gymnastics and they get a nice base of fitness before they then specialise later in life in whatever the sport may be. Whereas here in the UK, I initially just straight away went for football. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to play football, so that's what I did. And I got specific straight away. So lucky for me, that actually acted as a non-specific general base of fitness for later in life, for now when I do bodybuilding and powerlifting. So the overall role for GPP in training is 1, the formation, strengthening or restoration of habits which play an auxiliary facilitatory role in sport perfection. So they help add or restore to our main movements. It helps educate abilities developed insufficiently by the selected type of sport, raising and or preserving the general work capacity. So it's definitely helping develop my work capacity, which helps me recover quicker between sets, which can help me then do more volume later. And it also helps kind of by doing this kettlebell swing. It's very different, it's a different motor pattern to my kind of hip hinging movements most of the time, but it allows me to develop that extra motor pattern which can hopefully have carryover to my other hip hinging, like my deadlift. Another benefit of GPP, and something else I do outside of these sort of circuits, is just some kind of low intensity, 60-70% of my max heart rate cardio, and that is as active rest, assisting the restoration process after significant specific loading and counteracting the monotony of training. So it's meant to be fun, It's meant to kind of help your main training and not take away in the slightest. So when I'm doing this, I'm aiming for perfect form on every exercise. It's not meant to get me going to absolute failure. Yeah, my heart rate will come up, but I'm not going to injure myself. I'm not going to take away from my main training. That you really need to be careful of. So with that, you can come to kind of some nice GPP prescriptions. So it needs to be general in nature, specific in function, using a wide range of different movements and modalities, which we are here in this circuit. It needs to be fun, different and non-exhausting. And if those two things are met, it will kind of facilitate our sport by enhancing our recovery and building general work capacity. So this is an example of my GPP, and hopefully that gives you a bit of an insight into how you might use it. We're looking to improve the body's functional capacity and therefore its general physical preparedness. We do this by incorporating exercises that enhance our sport but are not specific to it. So GPP needs to be fun, stress-free and not take away from your recovery. So that's why we do it and that's how we do it. Cheers guys, and revive stronger.